Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the South Russell Village Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. We ask you all to please rise, put your hand over your heart, and join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated if you can. Fiscal officer will take the roll.
Bell is absent. Berger.
Here.
Canton. Here. Kavanaugh. Here. Renzel. Here. Alexander's absent.
All right, we have minutes from our council meeting on January the 5th. Any changes or corrections in the minutes? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Kavanaugh, second by Canton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. We have a few visitors here today. And welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I don't think we could have had a worse night, but it's a good occasion. We've already taken Nick's son down to the basement, had his picture taken in our one-person jail. Everything's over with. And that's the closest he's ever going to get to a jail.
You hope.
For many years, we had many officers named Mike. I had Nick as a student at Mayfield High School, and I ended up calling him Mike.
A lot.
10 times. So it's a pleasure to turn this meeting over to another Mike, Chief Mike Rizzo, to talk about this event. Chief,
Thank you very much. We are all here for Nick DeVita, as you can tell. A lot of support from the community and other law enforcement agencies here. Thank you for being here. Nick DeVita has been a law enforcement officer for over 21 years and has been with the South Russell Police Department since 2013. He also serves as a part-time officer with the Hunting Valley Police Department. His chief lieutenant and sergeant are here also tonight. Nick's credentials are quite impressive, but most importantly, he's earned the respect of his fellow officers by providing support, guidance, and strong leadership. He's taken on administrative duties and responsibilities without hesitation or expectations. Nick does what needs to be done, and he's been a tremendous asset to our organization. Nick serves as our field training officer and our firearms instructor. He is the commander of the Valley Enforcement Group's UAS team, overseeing 22 officers and support staff. This incredible team, which is based out of the South Russell Police Department, is the most utilized specialty team in VEG. Nick enthusiastically supports the mission of the South Russell Police Department and is committed to serving this amazing community. He's done an outstanding job helping us keep this department moving in the right direction. At this time, I would like a recommendation to promote Nicholas DeVita to the position of lieutenant.
Thank you. The way we do this is the mayor appoints, then the council has to pass a motion to approve. So I'd like to appoint Nick DeVita as lieutenant of the South Russell Village Police Department. Will someone please make that motion?
Yes. First of all, thank you for all being here tonight. And contrary to what you may have heard, we're not giving out any free food tonight. As chairman of the Safety Committee, I'm very proud and honored to recommend Sergeant Nick DeVita to the vacant lieutenant position, the Village of South Russell.
Been moved. We have a seconded by Councilman Berger. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, the motion passes. Nick, up here, please. Please take all the pictures you want. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Nick DeVita, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully, honestly,
honestly,
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Lieutenant in the South Russell Village Police Department,
Lieutenant of the South Russell Police Department,
in the Village of South Russell,
the Village of South
in
Russell,
Geauga County, Ohio.
in Geauga County, Ohio.
Congratulations.
son.
Okay. Pictures, please. Everybody, anybody.
Sorry about
Mayor, oh, hang on. Yep.
Yep. All of us?
Yes. Give me that. Do we have one with Chief and Nick?
Yep. Mom and Dad? No? Pass? Okay, we'll pass.
Dad's ready.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you all for coming. The meeting will continue, and this is you can head on home.
Congratulations. Thank
I agree. Thank you. Indoors. And so I saw the email.
Is he in the street?
Sure. Thank you for coming. It's freezing out here. It's freezing out here. How are you? Oh, I'm sorry. It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to see last meeting.
You know, they always talk about the CA, I never really understand what they meant by that.
Around.
The spreadsheet that he sends. Let's see, all the expenses. Maybe.
It's awful quiet.
It's good. John Buda said he'd be the last man standing, and that's almost true.
Passes that.
There you go.
Pass those that way.
So I went for the chief counsel.
Pass that way.
Yeah.
Chief, that was a very impressive turnout, so.
Sure was, yeah, thank you.
Quite a statement. All right, we have two visitors here. Would either one of the visitors like to speak tonight? Hearing none, we're now at the mayor's report. The last last council meeting with the former members and the first one with the new members. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of numbers, a lot of different things were said. So you have in front of you tonight numbers from the Spring Valley Dispatch. Spring Valley Dispatch consists of, at this point, 30 different entities. That's what's projected there. There's 32, going to be 32 municipalities. But basically go down if you can on Exhibit A. You can see South Russell, you see blank for the PD channel and the PD resources. And if you slide it over, you'll see that we are scheduled for 1 month, maybe 2, to pay about $56,163 for the CBD. That's at the second to the third to the last column. Now, down at the very bottom, you see 4 different communities: Brook Park, Middleburg Heights, North Royalton, Strongsville. They have shut down their dispatch center, and they haven't shut it down yet, but they're going to be joining us in February. And that will make a slight change in what we pay. We will go down from 56,163 to 55,450.
Repeat that, 55.
55,450. That should be, and I'll have that, assuming everybody makes the transfer in February. I may even have those new numbers at our March the 2nd meeting. It should not be an issue. Everyone's ready to make the move. The only thing of real controversy that is odd, at the top it says admin. 2 years ago, changed the formula as to how cost would be provided. And the feeling was every entity was going to pay the same amount. So if you look up there, the biggest, I'm assuming the biggest entity is Euclid. They pay $23,137. And one of the smallest entities is going to be at the very top, is Bentonville. They also pay $23,137 and some change. And that was brought in the feeling of that's paying for pencils and desks, administrators, computers, headquarters, everything. And that's how that came about. And that's basically where we stand. There only 2 oddballs are the Cleveland Metro Parks is not a municipality, but they have their dispatch from Chagrin Valley, and the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. They have their dispatching from Chagrin Valley. Everything else is a municipality in all different sizes. The numbers at the far right show if you have Southwest Dispatch Center and the difference in pay, basically you can see how things are done. And again, I said these are good for 1 month, probably 2 months, but that's how we're operating for now.
This second sheet you gave us.
Okay, is everybody done with Exhibit A? We have questions on Exhibit A?
I'm done with it, but I don't know that I understand everything, so I need to sit down with someone and have it explained in
Okay.
detail.
Are you going to
No,
250?
I
Okay.
think I'm gonna miss them. We'll
Oh,
talk.
okay, I was gonna say, we could talk in the dark, but all right. Yeah, sometime we can get together. All right, those are the numbers.
Okay, so everybody pays the same admin irrespective of whether they use all of the services or not.
Yes,
So we use half, we use the fire but not the police. And so we end up paying the same fee even though we don't use both systems.
yes, yeah, everybody just, yeah. Same for the Metro Parks and the sheriff, yeah.
And that makes sense.
This was an interesting debate. Results came from the finance directors of the 5 different communities got together, and they looked at all the different possibilities. They said this was the best way to do it, so that's what we've been doing. Anything else on Exhibit A? Okay, the next one. This is us. Couple of mistakes here, in my opinion. We started in 2012, I'd say that's probably the last year. Chagrin Valley Dispatch was located in a closet in the Chagrin Falls Chagrin Falls Village Hall. And it just wasn't working. Chief Brocious tried 3 different times to pass a levy in Chagrin to build a police station. It didn't work. So in 2013, that's when Chagrin Valley moved to the Bedford Hospital basement. And it's been expanding ever since. Chagrin Valley is at Severance Center, Brecksville, Bedford Hospital basement. They have a headquarters in Brecksville. And by the end of this year, they will have one headquarters, and that will be in Valley View. And everybody will be hopefully everybody will be located there. But you can see how things have gone the past 14 years. And we're going on the assumption that this year we'll be at the 56,163, say something, and again, that'll change with the 4 new people coming in. It'll take us up to 34 entities. On the green side, on the right-hand side, you can see the capital refund. It's over $11,000. Then there was another one for $2,900. So it ends up at about $14,500 was given back to us. And in the 14 years, it's dropped about 10%. The problem with that is consumer price index over those 14 years was about 34%. So the prices should have been going up.
But we're not comparing apples to apples. In 2024, we paid $59,000 and change for both fire and police. And now we're paying $56,000 and change just for fire.
Yes.
So it didn't actually drop. It essentially, I don't know what the percentage of police calls versus fire calls are. But if they're 50-50, then essentially our costs went up 50%. Because we're paying the same for half the services.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So that,
And what happened in 25? What's the 88,000?
That would have been police and fire, and that's when the first,
And then we left. Yeah.
the first,
That was the new billing model.
Okay.
that's the administrative
And
cost.
then we went to the county.
well, we actually went to the county, but had to pay because
Because
we
we
went
had that.
after July 1st, we
Yes.
had to pay them. So we actually paid significantly more for no services because of the way the agreement was written.
That brings us to 2026. Is that a correct amount, 88,000 plus?
Well,
That's last year.
that's 25.
Okay.
But Chris
That's
has,
with fire and police.
Yes,
No,
that's with everybody, and, yeah, fire and police, that was the
Is
first
the
year of the administrative costs.
Yeah.
but you're right, it should be half of that if it's not, if it's only fire. So they're, whatever they call their model. This is
Doesn't
where,
make sense.
this is where I get lost.
Right. And it brings us back to asking the question, why can't Chagrin Valley Fire Department be dispatched by Geauga Safety? And I know there's different channels and all this other stuff, but there should be a way that we can do that because Geauga Safety would cost us $0. And this costs us $56,000. So we could invest in equipment
Buy
and
another police car.
move to Geauga Safety, and we wouldn't have this recurring cost every year going forward.
So how does the sheriff's department, how does Geauga Sheriff's Department do that? And they work on a totally different billing model or something.
Do what though?
They'll dispatch.
I'm not following the question.
It's part of your tax base. You
Okay.
pay it as part of your property taxes.
Okay.
Is for Geauga Safety. So it's already, you're already paying for it. You're just not using it.
Okay. So why can't Cuyahoga County do that? But I don't expect you to answer that.
I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know the answer
either.
to that one. And I know the billing model is complex. I don't know a lot of the aspects. I know a few things. I know it's based on population. It's based on number of entities on a channel. It's also based on how many full-time employees your channel utilizes. So there's a number of factors that go into the billing model. And then, of course, the static cost of the administrative fees. That's 23,000 across the board, 23 for everybody.
Any questions now?
Has there been a discussion with Chagrin Valley if they can use our Geauga County dispatch?
No,
Has that happened?
that's the issue.
Okay.
Chagrin Valley will not share dispatch with anyone. So to have Chagrin Valley Fire Department, you must have Chagrin Valley Dispatch.
Chagrin Valley Dispatch owns the channel, and they will not allow Geauga County to broadcast on that channel, first of all. And the second aspect is that when, let's say, for example, there's a call in Bentleyville, and Chagrin Fire is in Bentleyville, and then Geauga County tries to dispatch Chagrin Valley Fire for a rescue squad, and they don't know it's gone. So there's a disconnect between the two systems, two totally different networks. So they wouldn't know when the squad is out. So it's a matter of, two systems that just won't work together. And then the other thing is dispatching on the channel.
Is there any flexibility with that? We talked to the chief. That's it? That's just black and white?
No,
That's the
I-
black and white issue. You're right there. You've hit it on the head. You want Chagrin Valley Fire Department, you have to have Chagrin Valley Dispatch.
Well, I'd like to have that conversation with Chief Zugan. Maybe,
And with both, bring them both. I mean,
bring both in here and let's sit down in front of council and let's have the discussion. Because it's $60,000 that we don't have to spend.
yeah, Nick may be able to answer a lot of questions that I can't answer, and that I would prefer to have the expert,
So would I.
Nick DeSico.
Nick DeSico.
If we
Okay,
could do that, is there a way we could do that? We'd want a separate meeting or at council? Would you want it at open
No,
council?
the council meeting.
Yeah, do it, let's
Whatever the
do it in the open.
second,
Are you here March the 2nd, Ruth?
no, so if we could do it the second meeting in February, that would be great. I'll be here then. And then I'll be back, whatever the second meeting in March is for the
So
rest
we're
of
here
the
on
year.
February the 20th?
If that's the date, I didn't think it was, but yes. It's not the 20th, hang on.
The 20th.
Yeah.
It's
Is
the
it?
17th, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, wrong month.
17.
February,
17th.
yeah, it's Tuesday, because Monday is
I will be here,
President's
I'll
Day.
be here Tuesday the 17th, yes.
February the 17th. Okay, we meet next week. I'll see if they can make it here on February the 17th.
That would be great.
Mary, as far as the information that the other new council members are getting tonight, Chief Zugan will get that to you later, or maybe he already has, I don't know.
Okay.
But there were 8 different new council members coming to their presentation tonight. All right,
You said you're meeting next week. Who's that with?
It's a Green Valley Dispatch meeting. That would be all communities meeting tomorrow, representatives from all the communities.
Tomorrow?
No, I think it's next Wednesday. No, it's Tuesday, January 27th. It's,
That's the dispatch.
that's just, yeah, it's the meeting of the 34 different entities.
Okay.
Okay, anything else before we move on? Last week, the Geauga County Township Association had their quarterly dinner. Ruth, I don't know about you, but Misha and I talked. We thought it was a very worthwhile meeting, never realizing the 8 different groups that are out there to support everything from the Amish kids and clean up the roads 2 times a year to the private group that's worried about the mental health of our EMS people. It was a very good meeting. I mentioned I had a coffee with Chief Zugan this morning, just trying to build the bridges back to the Green Valley Fire Department. Tomorrow, Wednesday, at 2 o'clock, Meter Public Funds will have a 1-hour webinar on the nation's finances and interest. Danielle, do you think it'd be worthwhile if you did a 5 to 10 minutes on what Meter does for us?
Today?
No,
Oh.
no, I'm trying to space these out.
Yeah, I think, Councilman Berger had said something in the fall because we were elected officials to, for me to try to put together a presentation to explain government accounting and how it all works, and I thought I could work into that.
All right. Tomorrow is the America's 250th. That's the monthly planning meeting. That's it's a typical meeting trying to figure out what we're going to do. That's out at the library. There's a webinar on employee benefits. That's on Thursday. At the February the 5th council meeting, I was going to present our relationship with hazmat. Chief, I was wondering if you could present the Valley Enforcement Group at the 17th. That may be subject to change if we're going to have Nick here. You know, just like 5 minutes on what veg is all about.
Okay.
The meeting's on the 16th.
We changed it though because of President's Day.
Never mind.
And then
I changed that.
on March the 2nd, I'm going to present Chagrin River Watershed Partners, the relationship we have. So Danielle, how about if you do March 16th? You do Meter on March 16th?
Okay.
That way, all the different groups that we have associated with will be able to come through and explain it to everyone. A refresher is always good. Okay, that's it for the mayor's report. Questions of the mayor? Hearing none, we're at the fiscal officer.
First of all, everybody know today we got all the bidding documents from Verdantis. So all the final bidding documents, if anybody wants to read them, it's foreign stack of information, so you can review that. The last couple years, Village has belonged to the NOCCA, which is for the council members of the different communities, and the cost for that is $400 per year. I know the mayor last year said he didn't know you were utilizing that, so we would review it this year before we decided if we would do the membership for that. I don't know how many people are involved in that, but
I went to a couple of those and it doesn't really suit our needs. It's more the cities, the second ring cities than us. So I think privately what we learn here, we do better with that.
Okay.
And it's kind of disappointing because that's almost comparable to Ohio Townships Association, which rocks, but we go to that anyway. So no, I wouldn't pay it, Danielle, unless somebody else wants to go to those or join. So maybe explain it to Mary better than I did, but I would compare it, Mary, to Ohio Townships is for the townships, but they include us as an auxiliary member, and it's based around here.
Mhm.
It just NACA it didn't really help us at all.
So we'll just waive the membership.
I would.
Okay. And then, if you notice, we have 6 pieces of legislation on the agenda for tonight, but we only have 4 council members. So in order to waive readings to adopt this legislation, you need 5. So everything can be introduced tonight, but you can't take action on it. I do know, we do have a police cruiser on there, and we do have some important things we were looking to get done. So I didn't know if council would consider possibly having 2 special meetings, so we can do the second and third readings and get these done. I don't know when Misha or Chris will be back, but maybe we could have 1 more meeting if one of them is there to waive the readings, but I don't know if that's something you consider. You could talk about maybe under new other, think about.
What's the rush? Do we have something we need to get done?
Well, we need to buy a cruiser, and there's some agreements the chief is waiting on. I've been waiting since November to get for the electronic check deposits and the NOPEC grant. So there's things we were hoping to get done that are just kind of waiting, the cruiser being the biggest of them.
And the in-car camera systems and then the internet upgrade to the police department for that project as well.
So the sooner we buy it, the sooner we get it, the sooner it gets installed.
That's the Motorola.
The Motorola in-car camera systems.
And, as you know, those would be special meetings. Special meetings, you can only discuss those things, so it would be one of our 3-minute meetings where you do the reading, and the second one you would consider adopting. So there would be under 5-minute meetings, but we have to go through the process, and they have to be on different days.
I don't know if Chris Bell gets home tomorrow or not, and I don't know Misha's schedule. I can do tomorrow. I can do Thursday
Well, we
morning.
would need 24-hour notice, so the soonest you could do it is Thursday.
Correct.
Okay.
Do we want to schedule something for Friday, the 23rd?
I'm not here.
No, she's,
Okay, then we get the last week, and then we can't meet on February the 2nd, but maybe something.
there's still Monday, January 26th. I can do that.
I'm still out of town.
You're still out.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm gone until the 4th.
So we'll do it February the 5th.
We already have a meeting scheduled.
We can just knock them off then. 2 weeks, it's not gonna kill us, I don't think. Because 2 weeks is not gonna hurt us.
Sooner the better, if there was any chance we could squeeze one in this week. Is Thursday an option or no?
But even if they do one Thursday, if they can't have the second one until February 5th, when they could waive them then,
Just do it February the 5th.
Unless Chris is back.
yeah. But then we would need Chris and Misha. So, then I guess we just wait till February 5th, so you can only introduce all the legislation tonight.
Okay.
And then, well, that's it.
Questions of the fiscal officer? Hearing none, the finance committee.
Yeah. Finance was snowed out of their committee meeting, and we need to reschedule. However, Councilmember Alexander is out of town on an emergency issue, so we have not rescheduled yet. The only thing to report is that checks were signed and verified against the bills list, which you have in your packet. That's all for finance, I think.
Questions of the finance committee? Hearing none, solicitor, the floor is yours.
Nothing to report, but until we can pass that first ordinance regarding the change on the agenda, I would suggest that any new committees of the council be put under new other until we can change the agenda.
Heather?
That's it.
I didn't hear you say how wonderful it is in South Russell compared to Spring Falls. Have you been able to make that decision?
It is. It's
Thank
great.
you. Oh, good answer. Questions of our solicitor? Street committee.
Okay, I'll speak for Chairman Bell. I have a motion in front of me to approve. Wait a second, let me read it. because otherwise I'm totally confused. Okay. Motion that council accept the bid to replace the service department garage doors from Doorworks Construction in the amount of $27,954 and authorize the mayor, fiscal officer, and the street commissioner to proceed with the necessary work. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. Much needed improvements from what I can see. The price, I didn't think it would hold, but it's holding. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Doors are purchased. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Additionally, just a quick note, we will be making a request to increase the budget for the salt expense by $12,000. As you may have heard, salt is in short supply around Ohio. And fortunately, we've ordered enough that we think we'll be in good shape. We just didn't calculate our numbers right. So we need to increase the budget by $12,000 to pick up the remainder of the order that we already have with the state. So just as a point of reference for those watching, our current rate, we're paying about $48 a ton for salt. That is a state controlled contract. And the current market price for rock salt is somewhere north of $300 a ton. So we've locked in and we're in good shape for that. And we are getting deliveries, even though they are restricting them. I know that we've gotten several deliveries in the last couple of days. So
Gone through some serious salt.
we have indeed. Subject to any comments Councilmember Renzel has.
Oh, all set.
Okay, that concludes the report.
Questions of the street committee? Hearing none, we are now at the building committee.
Building committee is scheduled to meet tomorrow at 5:30, right before the BZA meeting, which Danielle, that's still scheduled, that's still on? Okay, great. They should meet at 7, so that would give us an hour, and we'd still have time to set up. That's an odd time to meet, and I don't think we're gonna make a practice of that. The main thing, and we did submit my report for last month. The main thing we have to make sure is that the software is working well. And Ruth has had me read over some propositions from the county as far as septic inspections. And I don't necessarily know that I like what I was reading. And South Russell is way ahead of the curve when 25-ish, 27 years ago, we did the every 2 to 3 year inspections. The state mandate, if you sign into it, and everybody will have to eventually, is every 5 years. So we are very clean. We're very good. This particular councilwoman has gone a 180. I was totally pro-septic 35 years ago. Get the sewers and just pay the bill and don't have to worry about it. Wait, maybe John Buda has an opinion on that with that lovely system we put in Bellwood 30 years ago. Were you there then, John? No, okay.
You were here 30 years ago doing this.
I was here 30 years ago.
Questions of the building committee? Ruth, were you finished?
I'm pretty much finished, yeah. We'll have our meeting tomorrow.
I was just gonna ask Councilman Canton, when we were on building, we changed the,
Yes, it used to be every
Change the
2
schedule,
years.
yeah.
And there were individuals who wanted us to move that to 5 years. But we put our heads together and came up with 3 years.
We're aggressive, but I'm for it, you know. You're
Well,
keeping-
just so you know, the county is coming to the next council meeting to talk about those new mandates because South Russell is up. So they are going to come and discuss and let everybody know what the new policies
Well,
are.
I can watch it. I can't participate, but I'll watch it. So Jerry Canton, you ask the pointed questions. I'll give you a list when they're here at the next meeting.
Okay.
You're a teacher, you do that.
Questions of the building committee? Hearing none, Chief, again, congratulations on the whole
Thank you.
event.
I appreciate it. It was a very nice showing tonight. Thank you for your support. The one thing that I have to discuss is we brought it up at the tech meeting, but I've got 2 quotes for a new phone system for the village-wide phone system. We finally have some information from ADP that verified that we could do a VPN between the police department and the village hall for an on-premise phone system similar to what we have today. And I've got 2 quotes. The first quote is for $16,000. We budgeted 20, by the way. And then the ongoing support for the first 5 years is $1,395 per year. The competitive quote from Warwick, our current phone system provider, their estimate is $25,000 to $30,000 with a $3,000 annual fee for an on-prem system. So the company that I'm working with right now is Business Communications Specialist. We've been on multiple email chains between ADP and the company, and we've finally got a resolution to the answer regarding the VPN. So we can do this, and especially when we get the upgraded internet service at the police department, we should have no issues. Down the road, we should consider upgrading the internet service here at the Village Hall also. It's about the same cost.
Let's put that on the admin and tech agenda.
You got it. That's it. I submitted a month-end report, and that's all I have.
Questions of the chief? Chief, thanks for doing that. Safety committee.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor. Please correct me if I'm off base here, but motion to approve representative to the Chagrin Valley Fire Department Advisory Committee. Initially, Councilman Bell was to be the chair of Safety Committee, but we've had some modifications. Now I am. Now, Solicitor, can I make a motion for this, or does somebody else?
You cannot. The mayor has to appoint a representative and then
Okay.
council confirms. And keep in mind, that person was appointed in either November or December, I'm sorry,
It's
it's putting
late, yeah.
together, but it was actually just Chris Bell, not Chair of Safety, but Chris Bell was appointed as the Chagrin Valley Fire Department Advisory Committee representative.
Okay. So what has to be done?
If the mayor wants to change, then the mayor
Oh, I
would
see.
make the change. And you would have to, then council would confirm.
So even though Councilman Bell is not on the committee, he can serve that capacity?
That's correct.
Okay, very good.
I don't know why I thought it's always going to be the safety person.
Right, it changed. If you remember, I can't remember what year it was, but a previous contract, it was moved by council that it would be the chair of the safety committee that would be the representative to the advisory committee. But then that changed with the new contract because the mayor had to make the appointment. It's not just something the council comes up with. So the mayor made the appointment of Chris Bell, not chair of safety necessarily, just Chris Bell himself, and council confirmed. And
So as a new point, he is the representative
Chris
as of
Bell,
today?
correct,
Okay.
yes.
Does anybody know this? Does the advisory committee meet at the same time every month, or how frequently do they meet?
I don't know. I can tell you in the contract, it sounds like the advisory committee meets on the call of the president and or I guess any other representative in the advisory committee. They're supposed to advise and consult with the officers of the organization. So the Chagrin Valley Fire Department, the fire chief, but I don't know.
Okay.
Mayor, do you know?
Since I've been sitting here for 10 years, we met once, and it was in the front window of Dink's. That's how long ago the advisory committee met.
So then is it just the organization that meets at some other point? It's not necessarily the advisory committee?
I don't, the only meetings that I've ever been to have been kind of, I don't want to say social, but it's like come and see the station. I went to the 2 meetings this summer over the contract, but that's been it. Maybe there have been advisory committee meetings before, but I only went to one that I can remember as mayor.
Okay.
But it is the responsibility of the chair of safety to be in communications periodically with the Chagrin Valley Fire Chief, is that correct?
I don't know. Is it on the,
You'd think so.
is it on the committees? We recently kind of described the roles and responsibility of the committees. I don't know if it's on safety.
It's been past practice,
I don't know, Jerry.
because I have chaired this committee before, and I was given that responsibility, and Councilman Galecki, I believe, he chaired safety, correct?
He did.
And he made a point to be in communication with Chief Zuber. So,
But as for formal meetings, Jerry, I can recall dates, which is a long time ago.
that's the advisory though. I mean,
Yes.
periodically, probably anyone here can have a meeting with Chief Zuber and our police chief.
Of course.
Yeah, I met with Frank this morning.
Mayor, this, meeting with the Chagrin Valley Dispatch on the 27th of January, what's the time and the place for that? Do you have it?
It's January 27th, 3 o'clock at Solon,
And so on, you know, where?
Solon City Hall, which is
Right.
kind of around the corner from the clock.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to acknowledge the retirement resignation of Sergeant Svoboda effective March the 3rd, 2026.
Been moved. We have a
Second. Second.
Second discussion.
I'd just like to say, when Chief said that Ed didn't have one thing in his file, complaint, no black marks, I'd like to be able to say that as a nurse. Good for him. That's excellent, and that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Are there other comments about Sergeant Svoboda?
He'll be
Chief.
missed.
Again, a very nice event.
Thank you.
I think it's just what he
Good
wanted.
gathering.
Mhm.
Okay. Motion to acknowledge the resignation has been moved and it's been seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, thank you very much. Safety Committee met on January 10th, 2026 at 10 a.m. here at the hall. A few of the subjects discussed, internet upgrade, staffing, 2026 projects such as vendor options, village phone system upgrade, traffic study 306, body worn camera upgrade, in-car camera upgrade. On January the 7th, I took the liberty of contacting Chief Zuber. I made a request as chair of safety that he would send me last 3 years of financial statements. And he did respond, and he was going to send my email to Assistant Chief Mark Veter. Vetter, I'm sorry. That was on January the 7th. I'm still waiting for the email, the information. That's all I have.
Okay. Questions of the Safety Committee? Hearing none, we're at the HR Committee.
Thank you. HR met on January 10th. It's a good organizational meeting. I've got 2 things for council. The first is we believe that we may have a need soon for another part-time individual, and therefore we would like to have council authorize the fiscal officer to place advertisement as necessary for part-time, potentially full-time administrative assistant. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. I sent out to you my comments, basically from what Dennis and I picked up at the Ohio Municipal League on a part-time finance director, and looked at the workload right now in the building department, trying to take the load off the fiscal officer and the street commissioner. So you've seen them, you've heard them, I'm done. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Okay. Secondly, we had an issue that we previously talked about in terms of the chain of command. And I have provided with you a final draft of the document that formalizes how our employees should act and be aware of. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to council that you accept the motion for the chain of command as given to you. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions about the chain of command? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Thank you. I think that concludes the report of HR.
Questions of the HR committee? Hearing none, we're to properties committee.
Properties met yesterday, and I'd like to thank Mary. That was her first meeting with us. She participated and stayed right with us, so that went very well. You have your minutes in front of you, and I don't expect you to have read them because I just got them typed up last night. So just to review, the Christmas lights will be coming down. It seems that the Christmas decorations this year were a great success, and I know I enjoyed them. And they're going to store what they can save and the things that get thrown away, like some of the real wreaths. And we want to again thank Ted Cruzy for allowing us to purchase at a great cost some of the greenery. We talked about the southeast corner, this one on this side right here, what to do. And so Danielle, I know you have enough to do, but in a newsletter coming up, can we frame it in question form? What would the residents like to see at the corner lot? And I don't know if we maybe make it more specific and give them a couple choices, like Jerry's gazebo or whatever we want to put on there. So we'll talk about that,
Okay.
and I'll think about it. But let's get some feedback on that.
Bruce, hold on. Do you want to tell them they should drive by the corner of, say, Psalm and Miles to see what Moreland Hills has on their corner lot?
No, I'd tell them to go drive to Chesterland and
Drive
look
to
at
Chesterland.
the garden of beautiful
And
flowers.
should
Yeah,
we just leave
they
it?
have a lot more property there, just to get an idea. That's a good, yeah, Psalm and Miles isn't in my mind. I've been there in the last couple months.
Yeah, I don't know that we should suggest, then they would react to our suggestion. I think it's better what you said, leave it open-ended.
Okay, well, we just want to hear. If people have opinions, we want to hear. Let's see, parking. And we felt that the parking, and Chief, I'm going to ask you to chime in here, that parking seems to be more or less adequate at the farmer's market, and the goal is to not park anywhere near the police vehicles and inhibit them.
The goal is to not drive through the yard at the end of the market. That's where we have people driving through the
Here.
campus over the new conduit between the buildings. They've been warned about it numerous times. I think the mayor's made mention of it. I've made mention of it. For some reason, they're driving through the trees on the campus.
Through the trees?
Through the trees, yeah. And
Cars fit?
they do, they do.
Happened twice.
Yeah, other than that, parking is,
Do we need to put
sometimes
some crime tape up around this?
we did. We actually did a couple times.
Oh
So,
my gosh,
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know what they're thinking.
hot rodders.
Yeah.
All right,
Other than that, it's always a tight fit, but, I think, the way it's set up now is, to keep everybody from driving through the police campus, the police department parking lot, which it's blocked off right now. So it is better than it has been in the past.
okay. All right, so then this is gonna be a work in progress just as we go. All right, park bathroom. And I put CMG and it should have been CXT, of course, that sold us the bathroom. Tim has contacted them, he said again, and they have said, yes, they'll come on their next time around and straighten that out. And I said, I want a date and I want it soon. It's gone on almost 2 years now. One of the bathroom doors, they kept them open in case the plow people wanted to use them at night, and one of them iced, and somebody must have tried to force it open with the ice, and now the door is bent, and Tim feels they can repair it, that the guys can repair it. But the current thought is to lock them down because it's just not safe with the open and close, and this is such an unhappy winter.
Ruth, I talked to Tim today, but I forgot to ask him. I guess, Chief, my thought would be we shut the light off on the restroom also.
They're motionless.
No, there's one big spot on
Oh,
the
outside.
outside. Yeah, if we shut that off, we don't want to draw people to it.
I don't know, I'd leave it on, I don't want graffiti.
The bathrooms do lock at night still, so they're on a timer. So it wasn't an overnight. It probably had sometime happened sometime.
Ice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
during the course of the day. Yeah, I'm not sure if that would help or not. People know it's there.
You know what? Trying to think what we could put. We could put the cones in front of it. Just, lock the
Cones
doors,
is a
turn
good
out the
idea.
light, put some
Yeah.
cones in front of it. That should shut it down.
all right. Bocce's, we're gonna meet with Tim, but the weather intruded and he will get that done. Muffy has been in contact with him and I'd like to get the bocce ball business going. That sounds just great. Trash day date. I spoke with Bill Phillips at the Department of Aging on January 3rd or 5th. He asked our date. However, Department of Aging doesn't have us on their schedule. They have 2 other townships on their schedule that day. And this came up, we had a thorough discussion of this yesterday. Tim feels if we don't have the 2 county guys and their trucks, they have always been able to do with our trucks and get the senior garbage. Senior trash is the only issue. The Saturday is not an issue. We can do the Saturday trash. We don't depend on the county for that. So he says go forward, but the Department of Aging says we're not on their schedule for the 25th. We're on our schedule for the 25th. To be determined.
So if you don't, just so you know, if you don't have the Department on Aging, who's gonna do the scheduling? Because the senior citizens have to call the county
I know.
and they do all the scheduling for those days. So if you're gonna do the senior
You know,
trash pickup in-house, someone's gonna have to do the scheduling.
I'll call
If the
tomorrow and see
Department of
what
Aging-
happens. Okay.
Ruth, the week after is wide open.
That's May, right?
April 29th, 30th, May 1st, and then do it on the 2nd. Be all
I
right.
need to figure out who called when. And if this doesn't go, there's gonna be a discussion. Because we're really ready to go.
Well, as of Friday, what I sent you, we're not on their schedule, I mean, according to what they.
I'll call Aging tomorrow and see what is said. How does anybody feel about doing that May 1st? May is like when everybody's busy.
We used to always do it in the first week of May, and then, the farmer's market asked to move their market up, so then we moved the trash day.
And I don't know that Department of Aging is free on May 1st.
The thing they did on Friday, we had it open that week.
All right.
Okay. And, I'm sorry, I lost track.
A little bit,
Your properties, yep, keep going.
wait, teeny bit more. Just that the properties will meet again, I'm sorry, on February. Properties will meet again February 16th, which is President's Day, a Monday at 3:15. Mary is very flexible on Mondays, and that's what we can do.
Here at the hall, right?
Here at the hall, Monday, February 16th
That's
at
fine.
at 3:15 PM.
Questions of the properties committee, you all set, Ruth?
I'm all set. I didn't include in the meeting, so it's not part of the minutes. We have to get the trees that fell down and broke the, what's an old-fashioned wood fence called again? Split rail fence, yeah. Fence is a mess in the back, so that would be the south side of Rarick Cemetery. And that has been that way for a while. They weren't our trees, so I need to make a call. Need a little bit of guidance. I don't want to offend people, but this shouldn't happen and the fence needs to be totally redone.
The cemetery needs some work, yes.
Okey doke. That's it. That's enough for properties. Thank you.
Questions of the properties committee? Ruth, just to let you know, I did send a letter to the Coatsworth, thanking them for allowing us to have access to their property. Parks committee,
Parks hasn't met. I guess that becomes my bailiwick again by being properties. Parks hasn't met, but we will, as soon as I'm back and with it, and we will talk about things like bocces and what needs to be done at the parks. Has there been any work, Mayor, on those signs or plaques that Martha was unhappy with that weren't done right?
no. We have some work to do with some, we can move some need to be replaced.
Okay, so,
A couple of them are wrong, incorrect.
yeah. And the park burn, will the park burn ever happen? A lot of things.
I will see, well, yeah, hopefully. I had a meeting with Bill Timmons, and he said, well, you better burn it before long or help. He said he'd come in and cut it for us, but I'm still hopeful we can have a burn.
Yeah.
I know there's one scheduled for flooring again this year, so maybe we could have some luck.
Okay. Thank you.
Public Utilities Committee,
Okay, Public Utilities met on the 13th of January. Important things. Okay, so the Hemlock project, the culvert, obviously the detour is up and we put it up and then the weather has shut us down. But it is intended that that will happen here shortly and it will be done. When it is done and we have all of our paperwork together, we need to deliver to Russell Township their invoice for the 50% of the remainder after the grant that they agreed to pay. So at this time, I have a motion that council approve council members, myself and Jerry Canton, as committee members of Finance and Public Utilities, to deliver to Russell Township the invoice and supporting documentation for the Hemlock Road project as soon as made available by the fiscal officer. So moved.
Second.
second, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. All right. During our discussion, Eric talked about Hazelwood, that Verdantis would be getting everything together to do the Hazelwood stormwater project, and that we can't open bids until July 1st of this year because there's no PWC grant that's tied to this. So, but to have all the paperwork together and to go out to bid so that on July 1st or shortly, thereafter as scheduled. We will open the bids and hopefully be able to start the project in the fall of 2026, do the major work, and then cover it up for the winter, and then in the spring of 27, do a full repaving of the road. And that would go a long way towards tying our stormwater issues in that area to the culvert work that we're doing on Hemlock right now. So we're at the far end of the village, and then we're working our way back. So Hazelwood would be the next step, and then to look at Fernwood and Maple Ridge and the water areas in that, on those streets, and look at where they're having an issue and tying that into Hazelwood so that then the water is moved north into Russell Township. So, that is ongoing. Just a quick note, we still have an active ESID program in Geauga County. We don't have any active projects for the ESID water program here in South Russell at the moment, but in talking to Mark Porter, Mark has been the vice president of that group in Geauga County and is willing to continue to serve as the vice president of the ESID program. It doesn't take a motion of council to allow that to happen. That's a county issue. But I would like to make a motion that council approve the appointment of Mark Porter as a citizen member of the Public Utilities Committee for the term beginning 1 January 2026 and ending 31 December 2026. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Perfect choice. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Okay. The last thing on my list is we have included in our packets the Chagrin River Water Partnership quote for the MS4 report. I have been in contact with Geauga Water and Soil and asked them about their ability to do this report and what they would charge us, and they're still coming back to me, so I would like to defer any action on this until I have a report from Geauga Soil and can report back to council. And I believe, Sugar Bush. Just so that you know, all the paperwork is done for Sugar Bush to do the pond dredging, and CMG is the contractor, and they will be on that as soon as the weather breaks. What we don't have yet is the license agreement signed by the HOA representing Sugar Bush, and I will contact them and push forward to see that we can get that done. Solar panels. So we have a snow buildup problem on solar panels.
Yep.
And Chief, have you contacted Yellow Light?
I did get a quote. I have it here, Jared. I didn't know we were going to talk about that today, but it was about $3,900 to install a barrier plate at the base of the solar panels to prevent the snow from avalanching off. So there is an option to, help the
So it's like
the snowfall.
an automatic heater?
No, it's actually just a metal plate that acts as a barrier so that the snow doesn't melt and start sliding off the panels. So it prevents the snow from coming off the panels.
Oh,
It melts in place.
that sounds like we have other problems, but what do I know?
Can we discuss that at the next
We certainly
CEC
can, yeah.
meeting? Okay,
It's just an option.
thank you for making the call, but $3,900 sounds like
And we've spent a lot of money on, the heat wire to melt the snow coming off. It's been a,
And then the other thing for the radio frequency.
oh yeah, our radio, we're getting radio interference from it as well. And we tried putting noise filters in and that didn't work. So they're causing us some issues.
The solar panels
Yes,
cause that?
yeah. So there's inverters on the front of the station. There are 2 inverters and they make a lot of noise. they tried to put noise filters in, and it helped a little bit, but it's significant. And I just don't know what we're truly making, discounting our electric bill.
2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Yeah, there was a lot of unknown expenses with that, so.
All right, well, we'll speak further about that in committee and bring recommendations to council.
Sounds good.
And then finally, there was a recommendation to discuss a village-wide trash service, rubbish service. And this has been discussed several times before across the village with no consensus of opinion. So, but I was provided with a plethora of documents from the administrative assistant, going back and picking up all of this information. So I'm wading through that. And so at the next PUC meeting, we will have that continuing discussion on whether that's an option for the village.
I don't know that you can just have one. It's interesting. John, do you mind me asking you, does Bellwood have just one trash carrier for? We do it, Paw.
2 days a week, the trash trucks are crashing down that road, you can hear them coming, plus the recycle truck. So there's probably 4, maybe 5 trucks over.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So while there are great advantages, there are also strong opinions from the residents. And so we will listen carefully and see if there's action. And that concludes the Public Utilities Report.
Questions of the Public Utilities Committee?
Good work, Chris.
Chief, on metal roofs, a lot of homeowners just put a bar across them. That's similar to what they're proposing.
Yeah, it's, they have, some of them have metal bars, some of them have little plexiglass stoppers from preventing the snow from falling down.
Okay, thank you. We are now at the Safe Bicycle and Pedestrian Transport.
We said that was going to be part of new other because we haven't passed the ordinance putting them in the list.
The trash, or what? Where are we?
Safe
No.
Bicycle and the Admin Technology Committee will be under new other.
All right, so we are now at ordinance and resolution. The first one is an ordinance amending the order of business. This is an administrative task. Who wants to do that one?
I'll do it.
All right, Ruth.
Introduce and for first reading and consider for adoption an ordinance amending the order of business on the agenda for regular council meetings in section 220.04A of the Village of South Russell's codified ordinances, not declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Okay, the next one is an ordinance about, from the Safety Committee, Police Interceptor.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance approving the purchase of a 2026 Ford Police Interceptor utility hybrid vehicle from Montrose Ford for the total sum of $44,730, authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to execute necessary documents for such purchase and declaring an
No.
Not declaring an
Not
emergency.
declaring.
You still can.
declare an emergency.
The emergency is just the fact that it will then go into effect immediately, not 30 days.
I'm sorry. Okay.
The waiving readings is
Can't
only,
wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we are not
so
to mention this.
confusing.
I think you should mention
Okay.
declaring an emergency, because if
Declaring
in
an
fact you do waive readings at the next meeting.
Declaring an emergency.
Okay.
Okay, Chief, don't want to catch you off guard.
Mhm.
Don't want people out there thinking we're getting a police cruiser for $45,000. By the time we get the cruiser and it's fully outfitted, what's the cost of a
You're
cruiser?
probably looking at adding another $20,000.
You'd have to, because that's the 44 for a regular car.
Right.
That's not very even
Yeah.
souped up.
And then, that doesn't account for equipment that's failed and stuff that you can actually transfer, you just don't know what the condition
And when you
is.
really step on it and go.
And Chief, if we had a company do all this, what would it cost us?
To do what?
To do all this, getting it from a Ford car to a police car?
That's what we,
If you took out your labor,
my.
I figured out your labor.
I don't do anything. I don't have any labor in it. We sub it out.
Okay, this is all subbed up.
Yeah, so it's all subbed out and we provide some of the equipment, radio equipment, which we purchase, through here. But there are some things that we can reuse. Most of the stuff, you can't reuse it. Things are deteriorated after 4 or 5 years. So we try to get 5 years out of our cars, and when they're done, we repurpose them. One becomes an unmarked, and then from there, it becomes an admin car. So now we have 2 administrative cars, one at the service department, one here at the village hall. My goal is to take our oldest car and make it one of the admin cars now. So I think we have maybe one of the cars has 125,000 miles on it, and the other one's got about 110. So we will replace one of those, and then we'll gov deals one of the admin cars.
Trickle down.
So we get about 8 years out of each one of the cars.
Which is very good
Yeah.
Oh,
considering,
it's excellent.
yeah.
Councilman, Can't.
I'll do it. Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance approving the service agreement between the Village of South Russell and Hickey Solutions for upgrade the internet service for the Village of South Russell Police Department, the amount of $3,552, authorizing the police chief to execute the service agreement on behalf of the village and declaring it an emergency.
Okay, next one, Jerry.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance approving the customer agreement between the Village of South Russell and Motorola Solutions, Inc. for an in-car mobile videos and necessary software to operate such in-car mobile videos for the Village of South Russell Police Department for the amount of $52,514.55, authorizing the police chief to execute the customer agreement on behalf of the village and declaring an emergency.
Okay, Ruth, can you do the next one? I assume this money's gonna go for the fall festival.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance authorizing the fiscal officer to apply for and accept NOPEC grant funds for the 2026 Community Event Sponsorship Program on behalf of the Village of South Russell and declaring an emergency.
And the last one, finance.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance approving the master authorization treasury management services agreement between the Village of South Russell and Huntington National Bank for check deposit capture services for the Village of South Russell, authorizing the fiscal officer to execute the agreement on behalf of the village, declaring an emergency.
All right, payments.
Motion to ratify the payment listing of 1/15/2026 to 1/16/2026 in the amount of $152,327.65. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Let's go on to new other and do the motion for the 2026 membership, Green River Watershed Partners.
Well, were we going to talk about GSW or what were we going to do?
Well,
This is the,
I have, yes, we have the paperwork for the membership,
Okay,
okay? I haven't looked at it. I mean, and it hasn't been discussed in public utilities. So I was going to hold off and do that and then bring it to council.
okay, there's no motion on the first
so
two.
we just wait a month.
Let's go to, Jerry, are you in after prom?
No,
Oh,
I'll be happy to read it.
Oh, okay.
Motion to approve the donation of $500 to the 2026 Chagrin Falls After Prom Parent Committee.
Been moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. And,
Motion to approve a forfeiture hearing for February 5th, 2026 at 7 PM.
been moved.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Do we know what this is about? Are we allowed to know what this is about?
Ruth had sent an email out to everybody. We have forwarded, so there's a forfeiture hearing. There was a homeowner and contractor named Paul. Both the homeowner and the contractor are appealing for the forfeiture for the construction deposit, and they're requesting to be put on the agenda for February 5th. So I thought you had received this information. I'll forward it to you tomorrow.
Okay, yeah,
So this would have to go to council, and then council would decide which one, or if you split the forfeiture hearing, or
so all we're doing now is setting a
setting the
time.
hearing, so we have
Okay.
to let them know.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Do we have a second? When?
Jury seconded.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Let's go back to the front. Let's do the Safe Bicycle and Pedestrian Transport Committee.
I haven't read these yet, so if
You wanna hold
somebody
off?
wants to talk about it,
I
that's,
could do that, I was there, so I'm glad to.
go ahead, give me a summary, Mary.
So we met on the 17th, and some questions that came up about proposing, and we can do this another time, proposing how many voting members how many residents, voting members, residents on this particular committee, should we follow other committees' structure? So that was just a question, and we can discuss that, I guess, when the rest of the committee's here. Also, we had a question about just quorum requirements if public members are added to the committee. If we add
Yes,
to,
Councilman Bell asked about that. So right now you have 3 on the committee, so your quorum would be 2. But if you had two residents, then you would have 5, so your quorum would be 3. So you
okay,
can hold a meeting with 3.
three, okay, super, thank you. We were gonna maybe follow what the Parks Committee did as far as the structure and the voting rules of that committee. And then maybe potentially consider a reissue of a third-party reviewer for the trail project grants, because we only had 1 bid. And then we were also wondering how we could get the word out or question residents as far as what they would like. And I was willing to reach out to other townships and towns in the area that have successfully built trails and just see what their funding structure was, if they had to, go to levies or what funding structures they used. And then look at some other resources, because there's bike cities and et cetera, for more funding for trail. So we hopefully don't have to go to a levy. I also was willing to go to the school board and ask them, and I will do that this week, see if we get on their agenda to see what the rules are right now about student travel policies. Because right now, I understand students aren't to walk to school, to Gurney, yeah.
I would hope they continue that policy too, personal opinion.
And that policy is, what is the
No
policy?
walking to Gurney
Unescorted.
independently.
Or bicycle, correct?
I don't know, I was,
I'm pretty sure they don't
Yeah.
allow walking or bicycling here.
Because it would just be too much crossing Bell.
There's a lot of traffic,
Just going down the driveway.
Too much traffic. In my opinion, too dangerous.
yeah, and then again, just like what also was been mentioned about,
The train coming through.
about, just a communication channel for the residents. Can we have like a little section on the
Well,
newsletter?
you already do. On the opening page of the website, there's a bicycle section, and if you click on that,
Yeah.
it takes you to its own page, and Leslie updated all the minutes from the time the committee was formed up there, and you have the survey results. All that's been there, and we just added the minutes.
That's great, yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Super.
How, just thinking, for trash day, to distribute to people, ask their opinion, some sort of survey. We don't want it back, that morning. Let's say, okay, give us your opinions about the corner lot, give us your opinions about the path. There may be something else, because you gotta
I'll
catch
have
the
that
water.
traffic stacked up on Bell Road for.
No, I would just cast it out and say, here's how you respond. No,
Just give them a sheet.
yes, maybe we'll have you do trash instead of standing and talking.
No, I love talking to people.
Okay, anything else for the safe bicycle pedestrian transport?
No.
All right, thank you and good luck. All right,
This has nothing to do with our safe bicycle, but I was in Solon today, and that's the first I noticed that there's a sign. Does everybody know where Hobby Lobby and Marks and those stores are? So if you look just south of there to the right, if you're on San, it says trail beginning of the one that goes, and I think it's the one that comes through Bainbridge and.
Yeah, because I saw the trucks on the Bainbridge side, over the weekend, so it looks like it's gonna go all the way.
So it must be brand new.
Mhm.
And there must have been huge discussion. It's going behind people's yards. This-
go ahead.
That went on for years, didn't it, to
Yes.
talk about it? Yeah. Okay, just as an aside. There's somebody to contact, Mary.
Oh, I've talked to Eddie, Mayor Kraus a lot. Yeah, it goes basically from Hobby Lobby through the Metro Park. The Metro Park they're building a bridge. Then
That's
it
right.
basically goes through Chagrin Falls Park and ends up Eagles of the Greenville Inn.
There you go. Get a drink at the end.
There you go. Administrative and Technology Committee.
Okay, we had our first meeting on the 10th. We agreed we're going to meet the second Monday of each month at 6:30 a.m. Or until I scream, one of the two. So, good discussions about what our parameters are and the things that we should be looking at. One of the major issues we have is with ADP, which is our countywide security, cybersecurity group. While they do a great job of keeping us safe, some of their rules are very cumbersome and difficult to manage through. And their response time is not always as efficient as we would hope they would be. I have had some email discussions with Frank Antonucci, who surprisingly responds to me very quickly. I've told him straight out that, I wish that they would respond to our staff the same way they respond to council members. And so we've agreed that after more discussion with our committee, we will be scheduling a meeting with both Chuck Walder and Frank Antonucci and having that discussion so that we can resolve some of these difficulties.
Your conversation probably prompted Frank to contact me and give me the answers that we needed for the VPN, so that worked out good.
Okay, yeah, but it shouldn't take me in the middle of the process to make it happen. So, although I'm happy to do it, okay, at least until we get this sorted out. But so we worked through that. We've talked about the safety official for the village and some of the issues that have gone on with employees and some of the things that have happened and how we can make sure that the designated safety officer role is better handled and make sure that the training has been completed. So we're looking at some policies in the handbook. So there's lots of things for us to work on as far as administration and technology. So we're getting started.
And I'm glad it's you and not me. Thank you for doing it.
Questions of the Administration Technology Committee.
Can I say something for the bikes? Just so you know, I know, it was discussed previously about the potential of putting a levy on the ballot for the bike trail. So I did, find out the deadline dates to have something on the primary ballot would be, February 4th.
Yeah.
And, that you have to get the certification from the county auditor on your mills
Okay.
first, so that, I don't think we would meet that deadline. And then for the general election in the fall would be, August 5th, I believe it was. So, but just so you know, we have two levies on the ballot this fall, anyway, removals for our operating levy and then our road and bridge levy. So that's going out a year early. They expire at the end of this year, so the village has always gone out a year early, because if it doesn't pass, we can try again in this primary and then the general. So we have two levies that would be on the ballot this fall, for renewal. So if you did a trails levy, that would be 3 on the ballot, so that might be something to keep in mind. And then just so you know, the third-party reviewer, we did have to advertise those. So if we go out to rebid those, that was $825 per ad for 3 times. So if they decide to do that again, do we have to do the advertisement, or could we just send it to those people? Because there was a deadline date.
We have to do an
That's
advertisement.
what I thought. So that's just a cost to keep in mind.
Right, and we have to make sure that we are letting remind me of the name of was it Structure
America?
Point? American
Yeah.
Structure Point. We do have to let them know that we are not negotiating a contract with them or something.
Okay,
Or
okay,
we're not going to interview them, or we're not going to evaluate them, we're going back out for,
okay.
I'll
proposals.
call Kelsey Moore.
But is that?
We're confident that's a
Council
council decision. I
Yeah.
know that that's probably the recommendation of the bike committee, but I think we need a motion
So
from
don't
council.
say anything yet.
Not yet.
We talked about it at the
Yeah.
last meeting, but I thought that we would have maybe some sort of recommendation to council, and then council make a decision, then move forward.
Yeah, the question is, was there any other channels to advertise? But I guess not, it was advertised and that's the.
Well, we
person that-
advertised and then we sent them out, like you can find companies that do that and we sent it to a few, but then, Councilman Bell said that you can get a list from the state of people who are approved, right, that do this. So the discussion was maybe we send it to a bunch of them,
Yeah,
but then we would have to advertise again. So,
Correct.
just-
So it's 825 times 3?
Correct.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's a very long ad.
Okay, solicitor, Kelsey has called me, I haven't called her back, so what am I allowed to tell her?
I mean, I feel like at the last council meeting, you said you were gonna probably reach out to them.
Okay,
I
I can just tell
Now
her,
with bike committee, I just feel like maybe we should really get a recommendation here to council, and council say, yes, go ahead and let them know that we're going to be going back out to solicit, requests for qualifications.
isn't it just a courtesy to say we're going out?
Normally, the next step in this process is truly to interview and to evaluate them for, whether or not they're qualified. It's not to close down necessarily the process.
The fact that we interviewed them for the streets means nothing for them.
Correct, it's a totally separate project.
Okay, I will call her and say we'll be in touch. Councilors,
I mean, that's my assumption is, again, that we're gonna let them know, thank you, but we're going back out for requests for qualifications.
we talk tomorrow.
Okay, sure,
Got it.
that's fine.
Okay, Mary, did we cut you off?
nope, I'm all set.
Right.
Thank you.
Danielle's gonna do no other?
Burger?
Okay, Mayor, are we doing this?
Oh, I would, definitely.
Okay, so, at the last council meeting, we were, visited by Mrs. Kimball, who asked for a response, which we have consulted with council, and we have a letter of response, which council members have seen. And so at this point, I would make a motion that the mayor and the president pro tem be authorized by council to sign a letter of response on behalf of the village to Mrs. Kelly Kimball. And after council's vote to approve this action, the mayor will read the letter into the record. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Kelly Kimball, are we sure on the, is it 104 Lakeview?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Kelly Kimball lives in Lakeview in South Russell, Ohio. Dear Kelly, with respect to your comments made at the January 5th council meeting, please know that the village, which includes all elected officials, employees, and agents, considers the matter involving your husband's former employment with the village closed. The matter was litigated in federal court. The federal court decided the matter in favor of the village, and the parties entered into a binding settlement agreement and release of all claims, resolving in full and releasing all claims related to the matter, including any claims you may have as your husband's heir. A copy of the settlement agreement and release of all claims is enclosed for your reference. The village intends to continue to abide by the settlement agreement and release of all claims, and as a result, the village will not entertain any further comments regarding this matter. Sincerely, William Coons, Mayor, Christopher Berger, Pro Tem. There is an enclosure. Yes, we will handle this accordingly. All right, anything else?
That's it for me.
Still doing New other.
Canton, new other?
No.
Kavanaugh?
The only things, Chris Bell won't be back till Thursday night, so I can't do a meeting. I'll be gone, I think, just 99%. And I looked up the prom date. It's May 16th. So if I kind of want to have a sense, if we have to do trash day a week later, how does everybody feel about that, May 1st? I'll find out when I call tomorrow. I feel like,
I don't have a problem with it.
yeah, Jerry?
Hopefully the weather will be better.
Oh my God, the weather was awful last year. I still had a good time. Yeah. All right. And you know what? We're still going to do that. We're going to stand out there and greet people, tell them to get this one out, but come on in you. Okay.
They give you a t-shirt and gloves, Mary.
So is that all you have?
That's all I have.
Okay, Renzel? New other?
No.
That's everybody.
All right, just to let you know, we did get a letter from Andy Hitchcock. He's a citizen about the path. And I know you have a meeting here at 5:30 tomorrow.
Tomorrow before BZA.
Okay,
He's on BZA, he's chair of BZA.
yeah, he'll be here at 6:30 if you just want to say hi, or if you don't know him, get a chance to get to know him and say hi.
I know.
He's a great guy. Okay, we need a motion to adjourn at 8:41. We're back here on February the 5th.
I move, we adjourn.
Moved by Kavanaugh, seconded by Canton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we are adjourned.